In this episode, we're going to talk about and really dial in on as to like what are you actually sacrificing in order to achieve what you want to achieve. Stay tuned. Welcome to another episode of Same Page. I am Lenard and this is my lovely wife.
Sarah, c'est majeste.
And in today's topic, we're going to discuss and really dial in as to what are you sacrificing in order to achieve success.
Right.
So what does that look for to you? Like, what have you sacrificed in order to walk on this path towards achieving success?
Well, I think like I can definitely give examples of what I have sacrificed, but I know in grand scheme of things, what else I could,
Yeah, of course.
Sacrifice. But tell the truth, I've sacrificed friends. I sacrificed, I should say, relationships that I felt like maybe were no longer serving me. Not consciously, not like, hey, I'm going on this path, like, are you in or are you out? But I definitely see myself being less social. So I just sacrificed I guess, hanging out and talking on the phone, I've also just sacrificed just watching TV. I've never been a big TV watcher in the first place, but just, decreasing that. If there's a show that actually now, when somebody talks to me about a certain show that's really good, I don't want to know. I don't want to know how good it is, because I will be tempted to spend some time watching that show and catching up so I can talk about it, etc. But I know that my time is limited, and the time that I have is to serve my purpose, right? Is to achieve those goals. And I know that every time I spend time binging on this show that's probably wicked, but it's not in alignment with what I'm trying to achieve. So those are two things that I feel like so far, I mean, I have other examples, but at least the biggest ones that I felt like so far that I've sacrificed in order to achieve, have more time to achieve my goals.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, just like you, I'm definitely more mindful of my time. So I've also decreased the amount of the TV I've watched. So there's definitely not as much Netflix binging as I used to do. Now, mind you, I still have my shows, but then like for me, it's almost like a treat. So like after I'm done doing what I need to do, that's once I've checked off those things on my to-do list, then I may watch a little something just to distract myself before I go back to whatever I was doing before. So definitely reduced the amount of TV. And another thing that I've given up is kind of like that mindset where my weekends are supposed to be filled with like eventful activities. So now the events that I'm filling them with are workshop, training sessions, seminars, all these different events that are going to be used as a foundation for me to continue my education and continue my learning on this particular topic.
Yeah. And I think a lot of like every person's goal is different, right? Whether it's wealth or fitness or family or whatever it may be, we all have 24 hours in a day. So there's certainly there's certain things that you'll have to sacrifice that are taking up your time, things that are more leisure and entertainment. But there's also sacrifice in terms of financially, right? Maybe you might have to sacrifice some subscriptions, some TV subscriptions, cable, paying for takeout, or paying for going out to eat. So those are things that you may have to sacrifice. You may have to sacrifice some foods, right? Certain foods that are not in alignment with your goals, if it's a fitness goal. So those are certain examples, but I'm sure that everyone who has big goals, lofty goals that they want to achieve, you can't continue to be the person that you are today with the same habits, consuming the same things. There are some things that need to be sacrificed in order to achieve that. And I think only you can decide what those things are.
Exactly.
Right? And only you can also make the choice, because I know sometimes when I was telling Len, like, oh, you need to stop doing this and that, like, he didn't respond well to that at all. But when it came from within and he was just like, oh, you know what, like, I want to achieve this, then he automatically sacrificed a bunch of things that I didn't have to sort of, tell
Point
him,
out,
because
yeah.
that was just part of his purpose. So if you have certain goals, just think to yourself, like, what is it that I have to give up, and who do I have to become? And think of the person, like, if you're trying to be a certain person, think to yourself, would that person continue to do X, Y, Z in terms of habits? And that can help you sort of sacrifice certain things in order to achieve those goals.
Yeah, and like, you really have to be mindful. The main, like, at least when it comes to me, I definitely have to be mindful of my time. And for most people that have their regular 9 to 5, then you're really working between 6 and 10, as far as really trying to build something, whether it's a business or creating something, where it's like you have those that 4 hours. And mind you, like, within that 4 hours, if you have a young family, if you have other responsibilities, then it may be, you may have to maybe stay up a little longer, and maybe sacrifice on some sleep. So you really have to be mindful of all those things. But I think Sarah brought up a great point. I think you need to put yourself in the shoes of the person that you're trying to become, and ask yourself, would this person be doing this if they were wanting to achieve this particular goal? And then for the most part, like you'll be able to come up with that answer yourself.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's what we had to talk about today. Just what are you sacrificing to achieve your goals? Don't forget to comment and let us know what have you sacrificed or what you feel should be sacrificed in order to go where you want to go and fulfill your purpose.
Don't forget to live your truth.